Good morning, small players, and welcome to another episode of Pre-Market Updates. Today's Tuesday, August 16th, and the first stock on the scanner is FRZA. FRZA has this big rejection at 10 from earlier this morning, so I'm going to send an alert for break above that level for a squeeze. Before that, we can, let's see what we can trade. It had this nice bounce on EMA 20, so we know it's trailing EMA 20 nicely. We could trade another bounce there. I mean, I would even trade a bounce on WeWap because it hasn't given one recently. Outside of that, there's this rejection here, basically triple top, right? From this candle, and this candle in the 970 area. So for a breakout, I would start with a break above 970 to catch a move towards 10, and then I can add over 10, obviously taking some profit and adding some if it gives me the opportunity to do so. And that's that. I like this chart. It's a nice chart. It's in a nice price range, $10 price range. Love that. So I'm very excited about that stock. The next one is MEGL. We traded this one yesterday from 950. It doubled. It almost doubled on the day. So it was pretty incredible. Today it's a second day runner, so as you guys know, second day runners are easier for shorts, harder for long bias traders. So shorts will be very aggressive on this one. All of that said, we see that this morning they started their positions, or they were able to finally regain control above 24.50. So I'm going to set an alert for break above that for a squeeze. The next levels, or the level before that, is going to be this level of 23 to start that squeeze, because it was a big level of resistance, and finally they absolutely destroyed it there, and they destroyed it on a break below 22. Right now it's perking up above WeWap. So more aggressive traders can start an opening position here, really, because it's above WeWap with a risk below WeWap. And then more conservative traders can wait for break above 22 for a trade. We can set up the trade plan for for bounce on WeWap if it holds it. For those positions, remember the most important thing, it has to hold it. 21.5, 22, this would be bounce on WeWap. Oh, I messed up. It's 21.95, 21.89, 21.5, 22. Okay. I wrote 22 instead of 21. Okay, so we have that trade plan. Basically, that would be if it bounces on WeWap, if it holds WeWap. And then otherwise, we can trade a breakout above 22. Also very excited about that stock. CEMI is a stock that we've been trading, over the years. It pops up on scanner every now and then. Right now, it's in no man's land. It's obviously fighting a big psychological level. If it does bounce on this EMA 20, that's a valid reversal trade. Otherwise, we can set an alert for break above WeWap. Not too excited about this one. These price ranges are not my favorite. And given that we have the other two this morning, I'll probably focus on those more. I trade the very cheap ones when there's nothing else, but when there is, I don't love them. This one is GBOX. Right now it's below WeWap and below EMA 20, so no immediate entry, but plenty of range on it. This level of 160 looks pretty good, so we can set an alert for break above that level for a potential trade. And with that, obviously WeWap right now is on 163, so if we were to break it now, we'd have to wait for break above WeWap to enter. We wouldn't enter 2 cents below WeWap on a breakout and then just find the wall on WeWap and get a reversal. But as we can see, WeWap is descending and we're ways away, so probably by the time the stock gets to 160, VWAP will be below it. But we just, I like to point that out in case it is not. Never want to enter like straight, going into VWAP where VWAP is going to be a big rejection level. Okay, this one is TGL, another stock in a good price range for me. I like this price range. We have this triple rejection here on this area. The last rejection is an 870, so that's why I put the chart there. Then this one's 88 and this one's 875. So I would trade a bounce on 870 because it's that big rejection. Granted, it already gave one and wasn't able to break above VWAP. So normally each bounce is weaker than the one before. So if the first one wasn't able to break above VWAP, then the second one will probably find more trouble around 9. So a bounce on EMA 20 would only be a trade to 9. I wouldn't hold it more than that because the first one wasn't that successful. And then I would wait for re-entry and break above VWAP. So that's, if all of us obviously don't have unlimited capital. So when we see that one trade is a scalp versus the other trade could have a longer lifespan, we could decide to just avoid the scalp, right? But then some people love to trade scalps because they're based on the trading journal that they hold. The highest success rate that they have is on trades that they're in the shortest, just a couple minutes. And they might, those people might say, oh, I'm going to trade the scalp and not the other trade because my success rate is better on scalps. So you don't have to trade every trigger. It's impossible to trade every trigger. You won't have the time to trade all these stocks at the same time. If they happen to trigger at the same time, you won't have the money in your account to trade every single trigger, etc. So it's important to make those decisions on what setups you are better at based on the data that you have. That's why it's important to hold a journal, and then just pick and choose what trades you're going to take. The next one is BBWI. I don't really know what's going on here. It looks like just the volume's too low. I don't know why it says 1 million on the day. I don't see where it's at, but we can set an alert here for break above 39.50 and break above 40, and then we can see during bell what's gonna happen, because right now I don't really see anything. NRXP, we traded this one, I want to say a couple weeks ago. Again, in that very cheap price range, not my favorite, but I will set an alert for break above VWAP so that we know that it happens, and when it happens, if it looks good and if there's nothing else to trade, then sure, I'll trade it. Then MOGO, the volume's still a little low on this one, but I'm going to chart it out because it's a nice chart. It has a lot of range from where it's at now to high of day. I'm going to set an alert for break above 140, but similar to that other chart that we looked at earlier, if VWAP's above that, then we're not going to enter. We're going to wait for break above VWAP. But if VWAP keeps descending and by the time it gets up there, 140 is above VWAP, then that would be a valid entry. Then I just want to see the general market. TQQQ was pretty insane yesterday. Ooh, what is going on with the chart? A little bit of a delay. So TQQ had quite the move yesterday based on the upwards move on the NASDAQ. This morning, okay, so it looks like this level of 332 on the QQQ is a pretty big level. So if it breaks below that level, I would say that would be a trade for SQQQ, which is the inverse of TQQQ. If it bounces there, we could trade a TQQ trade, even though it's already bounced there twice. So a third bounce, I don't even know if I would trust. For TQQQ, I would trade a break above 333.35. And that is it for today. I will see you guys in the chat room.